Israel, out here on the road. Um, I've been pretty busy and I'm getting ready to get busier. So you're probably going to see more videos coming from me in this manner where I'm just on the go or just not in their typical fashion or whatever. But anyway, what I wanted to come and talk about is you will know them by their fruits. You hear that term put out there. You hear people talk about that. And there's always a lot of vagueness and ambiguity around a lot of topics. And know when it says you will know them by their fruits, or faith without works is dead. What are these works? What is this fruit? Okay. And to really break it down to a granular level, because I heard somebody, they were saying, oh, if you just because you're out there building homes don't mean that's fruit. I agree. That's not when you get to know people by their fruit, it's more of a whole. I don't like using that word holistic, but for the sake of this discussion and this topic we're talking about, I'm gonna have to use it. When you're looking at people's fruit, it is more of a holistic approach. It is based on, hey, what are their actions? What are their relationships? What's their behavior? You know what I'm saying? It's looking at the whole man or the whole woman, and how do they conduct themselves? You know what I'm saying? What type of people are they surrounded by? How do they behave in certain situations? What's their overall what does their life and actions communicate? Does it line up with what they're saying that they're about? And that, like I said, that is how you look at people's fruit. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one little thing that you look at. It's a complete set of things that you're gonna look at when you're looking at people's fruit. So you have to have that type of approach when you're looking. It's not just, do they build houses? Because again, somebody tried to bring it up like, hey, that's the only thing people about in Straightway, or, oh, are you a part of a home assembly? And that's all the fruit that people are going to look at. No, it's the complete package. And the thing is, when you actually get out and you do all these things, when you're out there, and let's say you're building houses as a community, you're living communally in a communal household, your spirit is right among the saints. When critical situations come around, when for lack of better words, I say critical situations, high pressure situations where it's gonna really test what you're about. How do you react in those situations? Do you give in to your emotions, or do you do what the word says? Because we all know how easy it is in certain situations to just give in and justify our emotions and go with that. Look, all these things are fruit. And a lot of people are blind to what people's fruit is. What they do is they only listen to what people are saying. Okay? And look, that's one piece of fruit. but you'll know them by the fruits they're producing with an S. So you just can't listen to just talk, because a lot of people, man, like I said, I have come through and been around a lot of, back in the Christianity time, I was seeing a lot of Christian preachers, teachers, speakers, and all that stuff like that. And I've also seen a lot of Hebrew Israelite teachers, speakers, and everything like that. And yeah, I mean, they can talk a good game. I mean, I have seen people that can talk so spiritual and religious, you would think they just came down from heaven to get lunch, and then they're going to be heading back up as soon as they're done talking to you. But they'd be the wickedest people you ever seen. When you look at their actions and their behaviors and what they got going on, when you look at their fruit, okay? So just want to put that out there, that, you know, knowing someone by their fruit, it's not just, oh, they're building houses, or, oh, they're in a community, you know, or anything like, it's the whole thing, okay? And the thing is, a very good indicator of someone's where somebody is at spiritually is, are they able to be obedient to what the word says and be around their brothers and sisters like the Bible tells you to be, and be able to come together with brothers and sisters in some type of productive way to produce something, like building up land, coming and being obedient to the Bible and coming out from among them, being separate, being set apart. You see what I'm saying? Because when the reality is, y'all, when you really serious about getting your spirit right and getting in alignment with what that word says, like when you're serious about it, the natural result is gonna be, I gotta say, what you see here in Straightway. You see a lot of people that working together in a selfless way, coming together as communities to come out from among these heathens, having a willing spirit to deal with their issues, with the bad fruits in them that they produce. Everybody has it. There's nobody who doesn't have major areas in their life that they need to work on. Okay? And guess what? When you get around the saints, that's one of the main purposes, so that we could get sharpened and perfected and have life and have it more abundantly, you know, by getting in line with things. All right, somebody asked, do you have, and look, I'm at a stoplight, just so y'all know. That's why I'm looking at the camera. Do you have a location in Jacksonville? No, sir. We did. We were down there, but earlier this year, I think back in March, the last group of brothers, we had a small assembly down there, remnant that was left behind after the bulk of us moved up here, and that group of people, that small group of people, moved up here earlier this year. So no, we have nothing going on in Florida. And in fact, even up here, we've really gotten focused in a serious way with our assembly up here on moving forward. And that kind of, at the beginning of this video, I talked about how, look, man, in a couple, it'll be a little after the feast, man. Truth be told, it's gonna be truth be told, it's going on right now. We got some stuff going on and we're just busy. And we've kind of refocused ourselves with our goals and what we're doing. And yeah, man, we're gonna we're gonna be very locked in. Um, but and I'm looking forward to that. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. Yeah, we don't have yeah, we don't have anything going on in Florida. We are fully straightway Nashville, straightway studio. Uh, we do a lot of work up at the hub, a lot of work on the land up there, um, helping with pastor's house, and recently we we did an engine swap on a van. It praise God went successful. So we got we're involved with a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, I getting back on topic of what we're talking about. You will know them by their fruit, y'all. Learn to look at fruit. What people, or listen to what people are saying. Learn to look at what people are doing. What do I mean what they're doing? How are people's relationships? How do people communicate? How are people taking care of themselves? How are people coming? What are people coming together and doing? You know what I'm saying? What are they able to come together and do? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta look at all these things, and really take a righteous, holistic look at everything about a man or a woman. And inevitably, this is something I've done my whole life, but now in my older years or middle years, whatever you want to call it, I'm in my 40s. I really look at these things closely. I understand the importance of knowing people's fruit. I really understand that on a deep level. And I'll tell you, with my wisdom and experience, see all these gray hairs, my platinum highlights, with my wisdom and experience to date, I haven't met anybody who doesn't have bad fruit and good fruit. Every man I come across, you see the good stuff and you see the bad stuff. Now, the key thing is when you're dealing with men and women and you're discerning their fruit and what they got going on, is the good outweighing the bad. You know what I'm saying? Does what they say line up with what they do? And to what, more so, to what degree does what they say line up to what they do? And like I said, since I've come to Straightway, it's been off the chart where there's a lot of people, man, what they say lines up with what they do to a high degree. No, nothing's perfect. No one's perfect. But if you use wisdom to discern people's fruit properly and righteously in a wise way, you're not going to be led astray. But again, there's a lot of people that talk a good game and, they try to misconstrue stuff. Like I said, I heard somebody talking about, hey, just because you could build a house don't mean you're righteous. I agree. We go by builders out here and they're building whole subdivisions in months. You know what I'm saying? And wickedest shit ain't got nothing to do with the word. But on the same note, I will say this. In all my time out there in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, you couldn't get people to come together to lay a block together, to nail a board together without a bunch of fighting and all types of stuff. So, but then again, that's an indication of how divided and how spiritually jacked up a lot of people are out there in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community. because it's just a lot of division. You just saw that this whole thing that went down recently online with some of these people out in the Hebrew Israelite community going back and forth, you know. Um, so so be it like one of the things coming to straight where I was like, man, look at these brothers are so unified that they actually can come together and build communities because their mindset and their spirits are so in line with what the word's doing. They so serious about this thing. That's a big piece of fruit. That's nothing to just cast away and look, turn your nose up at and say, well, that don't mean nothing. When you look at the unity that comes behind it, it does mean something. And I'm about to drop a video. I've been dragging my feet because I've been busy. But I'm about to put a video out of some footage I got of me being up at Straightway the other day, where we had multiple communities that specialize in multiple things. One community has a truck driving company. One community has a construction company where they do drywall. Another community, our community, we do data, low voltage electrical. You know, you have multiple communities coming together. They were out there at Straightway on the land helping out, and we knocked the job out pretty quick. I'm gonna put the video out here soon. I'll probably put it out. I'll put it out when I can. It'll be sometime this week. I ain't making y'all no promises. But again, it just shows how when you really focus on the Most High and His Word and what it's saying to do, it makes light work, and it's also a beautiful thing when brothers can come together in unity. But again, you need to your spiritual fruit needs to be on a high level, and is naturally gonna. It's a natural progression to progress into something like that, into working together, doing projects together, being able to do businesses, being able to live together, build land, all that. You're not gonna be able to do that if you self-centered, self-focused, self-absorbed, and you're not willing to look at yourself and deal with yourself and humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? To some degree. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about, because I'm almost at my destination. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel. You watching Spiritual Combat, and shalom, shalom.